My name is Gina Linville. I'm Service Line Marketing Manager for Major Health Partners. Today, we're excited to be outside the new MHP Medical Center with Rick Fetz. Rick is the executive architect for Major Hospital, and he is going to take us on a behind-the-scenes tour of the new facility that is coming your way in January 2017.
To your right is the emergency entrance, and it will be, we'll call that the number 1 entrance. Behind me is the main entrance. It'll be the number 2 entrance. And on the far left, the existing entrance will, Univy, will be the number 3 entrance, and the Oncology Center will be the number 4 entrance. We're numbering these entrances so our patients will have another clue as how to get to the facility. Where I'm standing will be, as you'll come through the vestibule into the lobby space, will be several navigators, and they will direct you to the elevator or up the stair. If you're going to the 2nd level, they will check and see if you've registered or pre-registered. If you have, they'll direct you the lab or go to the imaging. And if not, there's registration over here. We're off the main the lobby to our right, and one of the unifying circulation elements in the design was a concourse. We have a concourse on the 1st level and the 2nd level. It runs the entire length of the building, and it's for public circulation. It goes from the existing Univy building all the way to what you're seeing now as the end of the concourse, which is by the emergency department entry. It's about 575 feet long in total. On the left, we have the imaging waiting room, and it's open to the corridor, the concourse. And beyond it, we have behind the waiting room is the imaging department. And as we go further down the concourse, we'll go to the women's center. We'll have a centralized registration, and this will be the entry to the women's center, and its waiting room is more enclosed but still has windows open to the concourse. As we continue on our journey here, we have some public restrooms on the left, and we've now arrived at the emergency department entry. We'll have a lot better looking entry than this when we're done. It'll be glass doors, it'll be a vestibule, sliding glass doors. We try to bring as much of the outside in with the windows and natural light. So you would check in here, register here. This area here is the emergency department waiting room. We have a triage room here on the left, and we have a consultation room here on the right. This in the center is the centralized nurse station for the emergency department. The emergency department consists of 5 4-room pods and 2 trauma rooms here on my right. And each 4-room pod, this is an example of one of the 4-room pods. There's 2 rooms with large sliding glass doors that will face the nurse station. Behind them are 2 more exam rooms with a patient toilet. So we have a little emergency department within the bigger emergency department. And that'll give us lots of flexibility and noise control and a lot of positive things. This will be the ambulance entry. Ambulances will back up underneath this canopy, and patients will be brought in through this door. The parking lot for employees is this large parking lot right here that holds about 200 some cars. Parallel to the main public concourse is the patient staff corridor, and it is parallel to the concourse. It has a jog in it, but it connects the back doors of emergency department, imaging, ACC unit, surgery, and all the way to the food service at the other end of the hospital. So this will be a prime mover, so patients and public patients and staff and the public don't mix. We have 5 main departments on the first level, and instead of each one of those departments having their own staff lounge, staff break area, we've combined them into 2. And we try to make them bigger, and we have natural light in this one. We have lockers that are in addition to this, and staff toilets, and this will be a very nice space for the employees to take a break. This is a CT scan room, one of 2 that's under construction right now. We were just in the emergency department, and because so many of our patients have x-rays, we located 2 of the rooms as close to the emergency department as possible. And this is the CT scan room. And as you can see, they haven't hung the drywall yet, but there's lots and lots of stuff in the walls getting ready for installation of the CT scanner. There's a common control room between this CT scan room and the one that's next to it. To the west, next to the imaging department, is the ACC unit, and there's a north and a south. I believe the north unit is now has changed its name now, but there's 16 ACC rooms on the north, and there's 22 on the south. The ones on the north will be associated with surgery. Each room is almost identical. They're 150 square feet. Each one has its private toilet, and it's very flexible. They're all set up the same, so we can interchange them. They'll have a sliding door on it, but this is where you would come to be pre-op for surgery. You would be going into surgery, have your case done, recover and pack you, then you would come back here and get dressed and recover. And your family can stay here, or the family can be in a waiting area or at the food service, and we'll get them with you. So this is very unique. Lots of different types of procedures are done here. As you can see, they're installing the sliding doors right now. How about that? This doorway right here is a separation between the ACC unit and the surgery. So after you go through this door, you'll have to be gowned, and this will be a sterile area. But right now, since it's under construction, we're going to walk through surgery. We have 4 rooms, oversized OR rooms. As you can see, they have windows in them to let some natural light in, but they're high enough that people can't look in. These rooms are very flexible. With being 600 square feet, we can do about any kind of case imaginable. We have 4 of these rooms, and we have some support spaces adjacent to it. Across the hall is the PACU unit, where first stage recovery is done. Besides having 4 ORs, we also have 4 procedure rooms, 2 of which are dedicated to scope procedures. This is an example of one of them. This room is approximately 300 square feet. You might want to get a picture of this wall here. This gives you an idea how much stuff there is in the wall. I don't know that you could really get much more stuff in the wall than right there. It's set up like a mini OR. So besides scope procedures, just about anything else can be done. Today we have 1 procedure room. We're going to have 4. The other thing about these rooms is that they're all going to be lead lined. So that gives us some more flexibility. Instead of having 1 room lead lined or 2, we decided to make all of them lead lined. And then our final OR is the C-section room, which is a little smaller than our other ORs. However, it is fully equipped just like our other ORs, and any case can be done in this OR, so it gives us lots of flexibility. But right next to the C-section room, today our C-section room is on the 3rd floor, and this C-section room is as close to the maternity care facility as you can get. Through these doors, then you're into the maternity care area. This is an example of one of 6 postpartum rooms. They'll be cleaner when we're done. The head wall's not on yet, but everyone has a private toilet, shower. We have a large screen TV. We have lockers for wardrobes that could be locked. It's going to be very, very nice, and we're going to have a nice, the device up there will be a Meco shade that will come down and shade the window. I'm standing in the one of 4 LDR rooms, and each one of these rooms is quite large. We have a room for the bed, and we have televisions. We have a skylight that lets in some natural light. We made it very, very big, very open. We have each one has its own private patient toilet with showers, and also we have an equipment room for all the procedure equipment that that you use during delivery. So these will be very nice rooms. They're very big. The area right here is for the bassinet, so in case we have to do resuscitation. We have all the gases and everything right there. So across the hall is the central nurse station, and it's open to both sides. We have other rooms. We have triage rooms in here. As we go down, right adjacent to the nurse station is the nursery. We have a nursery with 2 rooms. We have the viewing windows for the public, so it'll be quite a nice nursery. If the baby isn't with mom, it'll probably be in here. This is the large eating area right here. It goes all the way to the existing brick wall. We're going to use the existing conference room as kind of an overflow room for meetings. It could be a community room that the Kiwanis or Rotary Club could use. They could go through, get food, go in there, have their meeting. So that'll be nice, and also gives some expanded dining capacity. This opening right here is where you would go to get your food. The red lines on the floor indicate where the counters will be. So there's a counter here that will get one kind of food, and there's more of the grill, the hot food over there. These stainless steel boxes that you see are the hoods. This one's for, I believe, for grilling, and then we'll have this one's for demonstration cooking or special meals that they prepare. You will go then through this line. You will get drinks and things over here, and then you will check out, and then you'll go back through this way. Back behind that wall is the real kitchen and storage and refrigerators and freezers and all that stuff. This is the second floor concourse that we're on right now. You can see again it runs all the way there to all the way at the end. Yeah, the second floor is 72,000 square feet. Your original Walmarts were about 80,000 square feet. The new ones are about 140,000 square feet, which is the size of our first floor. So this gives you an idea how big this footprint is. Once again, we have the 3 public elevators that will be bringing patients up to the second floor, and this is the second floor lobby that looks down over the first floor lobby. I think there's 150 exam rooms on the floor right now, and we're going to probably add another, we could add another 30, I think, to this floor, so 180 exam rooms on the second floor, which is pretty amazing. This is the medical specialty area. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but there's a corridor that goes through here, and we're putting up metal studs right now for the walls. Just like we have on the first level, we have a series of clinical spaces. Starting on the east side will be MMG, Major Medical Group, and then behind the elevators and to the side will be our multiple specialty clinic, MSC. Next to it is pediatrics as we go west, and then the furthest one is the OB. The OB practice is essentially right on top of the maternal care unit, whatever we're calling it these days. These are the public elevators. So you would come up the public elevators from the first floor. This area right here is a kind of a greeter type function. And so from that point, they'll tell you which room to go to, left or right. This is a typical patient room. We have 40 of them. There's 6 of them that are dedicated to ICU patients. Same size, doors are a little bit bigger. Our existing patient room and toilet are 140 square feet. This one's 275, and we were able to accomplish 3 things. I'm kind of standing where the bed would be, looking at where a nice large screen TV would be, but it allows the caregiver to stand out in the hallway and see my face, where Gina is. And so they don't have to come into the room unless, they can just kind of just look at you and see how you're doing. We also have the toilet is right there. So most falls happen between the bed and the toilet. So we know that we wanted to try to reduce that distance, and this is about as close as you can get. Third, we want to have a nice family area. And the family area is this triangular shaped piece, so that the family member can actually sit next to their loved one and watch TV together. The other thing that we did is we slightly angled the room so your focus is on the window outside and not the corridor. And not to leave anyone out, we have this really terrific nurse work area that has sinks, high work counter. Today we have cabinets that are sitting out in the hallway. We're going to put them in here for soiled linens and trash. We have this rail system that we're playing with right now that we can adjust things, put them anywhere we want to, so if they want to rearrange things, they can. One of the other things, it sounds like it's a small detail, but because of when we did the mock-up room, we discovered we had this space at the end of the toilet, and we had a choice of making the toilets bigger or creating some storage. So we have some supplies, and we've located these supply closets so that I don't think the nurse will ever have to walk more than 3 patient rooms to get supplies. This is going to be a rather large nurse station. You can start to see the bulkheads, but it wraps all the way around. We have supply rooms in the middle, medication, soiled utility, clean utility, equipment. But it's going to be a very nice space. And I'm going to take you to 2 specialized spaces between. This large open space right here is physical therapy, and it has glass walls. It goes right through to the other quarter on the back side of the racetrack plan. And so inpatient physical therapy will be done in the patient room, or they will just be able to come right here and have it done. They won't have to go on an elevator ride, or this would be very convenient for them. On every floor, we did something that we have we have chutes, and one of them is for soiled linen, one of them is for trash, and one of them is for, we don't know exactly what we're going to use the third one for. It may be clean trash or recyclables, but this will allow us to get rid of all that without having to go take that the soiled linen and the trash down the elevators. There's also a door that goes out onto the roof that most people won't use. There's a patch of land that's flattened out, and that'll be the helipad. The utility yard's over here, and there's a doctor's parking lot between the hospital and the utility yard. These are the patient staff elevators. This elevator with the 4 doors is huge. This is one that goes down to surgery. The other patient staff elevator is very large too, compared to what we have today at the hospital. It is much larger than that. So we have a total of 5 elevators coming up to this floor, which will be very nice. Most of the rest of the floor is what we've just seen. It's patient rooms, nurse stations, and some waiting areas. This is the mechanical penthouse where the air handlers are that serve the whole hospital. And we have some interesting things up here with fan walls and very energy efficient. We even put a window in for the penthouse. But behind this door are filters, and that makes the air many times cleaner than the outside air. Our filtered air is much cleaner than you'll breathe out outside. This is just for orientation. These are the public elevators again. We're in the lower level. Not too much public will be coming down here. Mostly it's staff and support. One of the things that we were able to do was to create a large staff meeting room. For comparison sizes, this room is about twice the size of our existing classrooms A and B off of our cafeteria today. So it'll be very convenient for, you can just ride the elevator down and you have this large room to use. All our lighting is very unique. We're probably one of the first hospitals in the country that's all LED lighting, which uses like hardly any energy, and it doesn't produce heat, and the bulbs last for, I don't know, 20 years. So it gave us a lot of nice features by having LED lighting. We didn't have as much air conditioning. We don't use as much power. Wiring is less. So it's a really neat that we were able to accomplish that. And then I think in this window right here, you can get a pretty good view. This will be the lab area, and it's ready for cabinetry. Need some cleanup, but it's getting close to being done. Got the ceiling in and lights in, and shop right here where beds and things will be fixed. And it's pretty much about done right now. And then next to the shop will be biomedical engineering, which looks a lot like the shop. This is the central plant. What you hear running is one of the 3 chillers, because we've tied the existing building into the new power plant for energy efficiency. These 5 units right here are what we would have called the boilers. You can see how much smaller they are today than they used to be. They're condensating boilers, and they really don't boil water. It's hot water, and they have the ability to ramp up and ramp down as needed. Therefore, we can maximize our energy efficiency and control. This is shell space, kind of unassigned. Once we got our pricing in, we realized that we were under budget, and we added about 3,000 square feet back there. So we just moved the basement wall out and moved that basement wall out, and we have about 7,200 square feet down here. It's going to be built out for mainly IT, but also we'll have general storage, and we'll have some specialized storage for gift shop and radiology down here. So the drawings for this area are underway right now. But IT, that's IT hardware, IT software, and outpatient software will all be housed together down here, along with some training rooms. This is central sterile, and it's for obvious reasons we restricted the access. This is kind of how the public would come in. We have a soiled side and we have a clean side. This is a little staff area and an office. I'm going to walk into the soiled side. What you see is we'll have a cart washer, and we'll have sterilizers that will go into this wall. So this room will be totally separated from that room. Behind me is an elevator not a dumbwaiter, an elevator that goes to the surgery. So case carts will come down from surgery into this area to be processed along this back wall here, and then everything will go through the sterilizer into, I'm gonna walk through the wall right now, into the clean side. This is the clean, sterile supply room that I talked about. The materials management room's over there, so supplies will come in this door. They'll have lots of storage in this room, and then they will use them on the instruments, putting the carts together. This right here is an example of one of like 20 some pneumatic tube stations we have throughout the building. It's a 6-inch system. You can send anything from, like for example, if they need something in surgery, instead of running up there, we can just put it in the pneumatic tube, shoot it up to surgery. And anyone can go to any other station, and we can also restrict it. And over here we have another elevator that goes to surgery. This will be so after the case carts are put together, this will shoot up to surgery, and that'll be for the clean side. The last department, we have nursing administration down there, and so a lot of support facilities. This is the pharmacy window where you would come if you're an employee. They're in the process of cutting this hole through this wall to put this pass-through mechanism in so they can put stuff in. The pharmacy, for obvious reasons, is very secure. It only has 2 doors in it. It has a door, supplies, and we'll come through there. This is pretty much a storage room here, and then the big pharmacy area we're in it right now. Casework is going in, as you can see. There's a pass-through refrigerator there. IVs will be made there. We're going to have a special glass system that's coming from Europe. But those rooms have to be very exceptionally clean. These are pass-through boxes. I think you could put a person through them. They're huge. But we have pass-through boxes. And we have, because it's of the security in nature, they have their own lounge and break area, conference room there, office. So, and again, another pneumatic tube station, because a lot of things will be cut. This will be used quite a bit in pharmacy.